or it could be that they're gifted and talented. So we take them so that we can show them, scrub that. The national testing, so it happens all around Australia. And I have no idea what I was about to say. Hey everybody, here I am again. It's been a while, as it frequently is these days, because I don't get on to vlog as much as I'd like to. I'm just here quickly because this week, it's Monday, and this week is our NAT plan week. So it's our national testing of numeracy and literacy. We're all 3, 5, 7 and 9 year students take on the test over 3 days. First of all, tomorrow we have language, so language and grammar up first in the morning. After lunch we have writing, which is with a stimulus, and it's usually a narrative or a persuasive piece of writing. We have been working furiously on persuasive writing. I'm crossing my fingers that it's not persuasive. I'm preferring the kids to do a narrative because they're really good at creative writing. Persuasive writing is a little bit harder, not only to teach, but for the kids to grasp and understand, and all the technical parts of a persuasive text, where it's easier for a lot of them to create a story because they read them all the time. They know beginning, middle, end, characters, setting. Fingers crossed. But I'm sure that even if it is a persuasive text that they have to write, that they have all the knowledge and skills that will come in handy for during the NAT plan. Now, if you have never heard of it before, this is where the children sit. It's quiet. The whole school is in testing time. Do not disturb. Do not go near those classes. The kids come in and get a free breakfast, which is supplied. Interruptions was my husband who came to help, and I will insert a little bit of the video of my husband trying to cover. So that is another part of the NAT plan. I can't remember what I even got up to. So the NAT plan is the national testing. Oh no, I guess I'm repeating myself, but it's tomorrow, and tomorrow we have language conventions, and then we have writing. So the kids have to write either a persuasive piece, or they have to write a narrative, and we won't know until tomorrow what that's going to be. It's a bit of a surprise, so we will find that out tomorrow. So we sit 40 minutes for the first test, and they have lunch, and then 40 minutes for the writing test, where you're not allowed to say anything. The directions are up on the board. We talk about them. I'm allowed to read out some things, like they have a stimulus. I'm allowed to read what's on the stimulus, and then they write. They're not allowed to move, get out of their seats, nothing. So I've got some colouring in for some children to do, who are my ones who, because it's multiple choice, which is not always a great test, multiple choice, because those children who just go, colour any bubble, sometimes do quite well. It doesn't always show their knowledge or skills in it. So please nobody ask me what I think about NAT plan, and that is all I will say. Anyway, so moving on, and then on Wednesday they have reading. So the reading comes in like a magazine like this, and they have a whole bunch of stories to read, and once again it is a multiple choice, and they just choose the correct answer. And then on Thursday morning they have the maths test, which goes all morning, and a lot of that is multiple choice, not all of it. Probably the hardest ones are tomorrow's ones, which are the language conventions and the writing, because the language conventions, for the very beginning, it's all about spelling, where they'll have a sentence and they may circle one of the words in the test to say that it's spelt wrong, and then the child has to write it correctly. And it was very funny because the other week we did a little practice test you can get practice tests online, and so we did a little practice test, and I was very excited that one of my girls who's not a high level reader or speller spelt school. I was very excited, then realised that the word that was circled was blue. The shoes were blue. She wrote school. I was very excited that she wrote school correctly. It just wasn't in the right context, and it wasn't the word that needed to be spelt. So yeah, so that's hard for them. The second part is a grammar, and a lot of that is multiple choice, and the writing is hard because no multiple choice, they have to actually write. So they need to think about their writing, and there's no help. And it's very frustrating as a teacher sometimes to sit back and you just want to get up and give them a little bit of something to get them writing, get their juices flowing, but we can't. So that happens tomorrow. So I did find a really fun resource on Teachers Pay Teachers that I just wanted to share, and in it is it's a testing packet, and they have little notes like this, so I can hang that on the door. Testing day is here, we're ready to show what we know, we got this, bring on the test. Put that on the door. I think it's really cute. And then we've got this one that I'm going to put on the door. Please do not disturb, our class is busy passing a test. That was a cute one. Another one for our door. Shh, we're testing, please do not disturb. So I thought they were really cute. And then also in the pack they had a whole bunch of different little printout cards to go with, like, I'm going to go down the shop in a minute and buy some bananas and some Smarties, and I'm just going to attach them with a bit of sticky tape and put them on their desk. So one is like, don't go bananas, just try your best on the test, and show what a Smartie you are on the test. I've also got you're on a roll, keep up the good work, which I'll give for the second test tomorrow. So I'm going to just get some lifesavers for that one. And there's also this one, Popping Great Test Taker, and testing has officially begun. I'd like to do that one, but I have to find something to go with it. And then after the tests on Thursday, I'm going to have thank you for being a great test taker, and have some jelly beans ready for them. They also have water bottle labels, all that cute stuff just for the kids, pencil toppers and a whole bunch of stuff. So, but I've just printed them off here at school and laminated them because I've run out of colour ink at home. Well, no, actually, one of my printers at home has run out of coloured ink. The other one, my Canon, I went and brought new ink because I thought it had run out, and it's broken. It's not working, and painful because I didn't have any ink. The other one's more expensive, the ink, so I thought I'd just use the cheap old Canon one to print these out, and I went and bought the ink, and no, it's the printer is broken. So now I need to go and buy another printer exactly the same because I have ink. Or I take the ink back and get a refund, but I have to find the docket. Whichever way, painful. So I'm going to go shopping in a minute, and I'm going to go and get some Smarties, some bananas, see if I can find some sort of fishy lolly, and do these tonight when I'm at home, and have them ready for the big test tomorrow for nap plan. So that's exciting. Told the kids to go home and have a good sleep. So I'm just going to show you. We do need to cover up everything in our room for the nap plan test that could give students an unfair advantage. Words, word walls, all that sort of thing, which Like, I love my classroom. I don't love when I have to cover up and take everything down. So all my math word walls came down, my literacy wall came down, my math wall came down. I've also had to cover, if you can see up behind me, over here, I've had to cover all the top of everything. I've had to cover windows. Had to cover everywhere. Well, there is nothing worse than the cleaner comes in and thinks that you're just talking to yourself like some mad woman. Anyway, I'll finish showing you. So we have to cover everything, and like I said, it's great. I love having my classroom with all my posters, but come nap plan, we have to cover everything. Everything. So everything is covered. All my walls, the important things. So there's nothing that gives an unfair disadvantage to anyone. And it looks so blank. So blank. But it's all done. And I'm about to go because I need to go to the shops. And maybe no one else will come in now. That's the worst thing. I'm sure I'll get used to it if I do it more often. Okay, so I'll speak to you later. Bye. When husbands get roped into helping out. So,
okay.
Here's my husband helping out because he doesn't want to bring the ladder that he brought. He thought this might be easier.
Yeah.
That's perfect, babe. Just perfect. He's done a good job. It's our last day in that plan, so it's our numeracy test today. So I just wanted to show you what I've been doing. So over the last couple of days, I've been giving out little treats to the kids. So they had Smarties one day, You're on a Roll another day, and today we've got Thanks for Being a Great Test Taker, and they're going to have jelly beans in little bags. So I need to get that done now. So I have my jelly beans ready to go. I do have some little bags that I need to put out. And yes, my coffee, love coffee. And then I've just got to laminate these, cut them up and put them in the bags with the jelly beans. So that's today's treat. I'll speak to you later on today. Okay, it's the end of the day and it's really late. So it's after 5 o'clock and I'm still in my classroom only because we finally finished nap plan. Yay! So that's all done. Our testing, our national testing is finished, so we won't get our results back now until, I was just looking at my hair, yeah. Now until August, I think it is. So got a few months to wait for the results for that to come out, which will be sent home to the kids, and of course as a school we'll be getting the results of our students. I'm pretty happy with how they did. They worked really hard, so that was great. So I'm just in the middle now of fixing a few things up in my room because tomorrow we have some sort of well, we have an audit coming in to look at our classrooms and make sure health and safety type issues are on the agenda. So I'm just in the middle of packing a few things away and rearranging a bit of furniture, and I needed to do my literacy or my English learning wall. Now I've always had a learning wall and my learning wall evolved, so at the moment if we have a look, it doesn't have anything off it because usually on here I have all the students. I'll have a few first drafts, final copies, we have the exemplar. So at the moment in this unit that we are doing, it's time to go home, in this unit that we're doing, we are looking at procedural text, and the students have to be a character from a book. So we were doing Charlotte's Web, so they need to pick a character from a book and explain how to do something. We're going to hone in on Charlotte from Charlotte's Web making a web, but they have to pretend they're the character, and they also have to get up and give an oral presentation as well. So they have to write out their procedure, and they have to write out as a presentation pretending that they are Charlotte herself. So that's where we're going. So at the moment on the board I don't have a lot on there. I have put our Walt for tomorrow because we're going to start tomorrow. I also put how do I get a C or higher on my assessment, and we're going to look at this tomorrow as a class and pick out the things that we need to do to get a C or higher on this assessment. So the kids, we usually write it around the model here, and the kids can refer to it at any time. We also will put on here our action verbs and commands, and this is the exemplar, so this is what it looks like. We'll look at this as well tomorrow to see what an A student would write. So that's my literacy wall. So this is the bump it up part where we actually might put a good copy of someone's work, and we have A to E examples on there, or what they've done, and maybe bumping it up. Let's have a look at what someone in the classroom can do, and also choose their first and second drafts, their final drafts, and I'll put the arrows on and what we're reading. So I need to put Charlotte's Web back up there because we are reading Charlotte's Web, but we will be studying the procedural part now that nap plan is finished. So yeah, I might show you some more once I get some work on there, because it's one of those ever evolving boards in my room. Well, it's after 5 and I really need to go home, and hopefully my husband has the fire roaring, because it's autumn, it's getting near winter, and I would love a nice hot cup of tea, put my feet up, some slippers, and hopefully a roaring fire, and maybe even something to eat would be nice. So I'll catch you all later. Oh, here I am. So it's been a long time. You probably tell by the change in my hair, it's gone grey. It's been a while since I've been on. It is the end of term 2. I don't even know when the last video was that I put up. I'm so sorry. I am the worst vlogger ever, I think. But before the end of term, I just thought I'd give you a quick buzz around my classroom. I don't know if this will be at the beginning of my vlog that has lots of little bits, or at the end of my vlog after all the little bits. So I don't know where it'll go, so we'll just say, hey, here's my room, and I'm just going to show you something that our school has taken on board in a big way, even though I have done this for many years, and we call it a learning wall. So I'm going to show you my literacy learning wall, which I think I touched on it earlier, but now it's got student work on it. I'll just go through it anyway. So here it is here, literacy learning wall. Oh, really? Okay, sorry about that. My alarms went off to say it's time to leave for work. I'm a little bit early. So this is my literacy learning wall, and this term we have been reading Charlotte's Web and learning about how to write a procedure. We've learnt about all our action verbs and command verbs, and our time connectives, which are on the board as well. So we put up a bit of some time connectives for the kids. We actually put up the marking guide, which is here. So this is our marking guide, and we look at how do we get an A, how do we get a B, and we circle the things that we might need to get these grades in this assessment. Part of it was a speaking assessment, which I have a couple of kids that still need to finish that today. I always then put up the exemplar, which comes, we do C2C here at our school for the assessment. So our actual planning doesn't have to be the C2C plan day by day, lesson by lesson, but we do take the assessment and use the assessment for to assess, of course, that procedural text, what we're doing, or if it's a narrative or whatever the assessment might be, we do take them from the C2C because they're well written. The C2C itself has a lot of conjecture around it. So at this school you either use it or you don't. I use it as a resource to steal things off that I might need to teach lessons. So here we are. The kids get to choose what they want to put up. So some children will put up their procedural text there. We've got a teeth brushing procedural text. Here are our time connectives. Not only do I put the exemplar up, I also put a first draft. So there's a first draft of one of my students, and then their good copy or their final draft as well. I also put up the assessment task as well. So this is a booklet in there. And as the kids, when I mark things, so I differentiate with my writing throughout the assessment period. So this would have been, this I think was one of my lower ones. So they just had to cut and paste a procedure, where my upper ones had to write a procedure out after reading. So that they all got to read about the procedure that they were going to do. But brushing teeth for the kids who struggle a bit was easy because we all brush our teeth. Making the snowman was quite funny. We watched a movie and we watched some procedural text and we watched kids making them because we don't get snow here in Queensland. At least not where I live. And then we had making the snowman here. So that is my English learning wall. So I just wanted to show you that. We also are doing Comico and the Dragon next term for a part of reading. So we started reading it this week in hopes that we'll just get ahead of it a little bit, and then next term we'll get right into it. But I thought I'd immerse my students in Japanese, and I know that's not part of the curriculum, but we have finished all of our assessment. It's the last week, so we are just immersing ourselves in Japanese while we read some parts of Comico and the Dragon. So this is what my kids have been up to. They have done haiku poems and made lanterns, and we watch videos about what the meaning behind each of the things we do. We looked at cherry blossoms, so the kids did some art. We made dragon faces to go with Comico and the Dragon because it is about a dragon. And we've made a nice big dragon, but he hasn't got his head, his tail or his claws on yet, his feet, but it's coming along very nicely. So that's our Japanese that we're looking at, and our lovely Japanese teacher here at the school is going to come in and give the kids a lesson on Japanese, so that should be fun. So it is the end of term. I'm excited, and there's a view of my room. A few things have changed. Yeah, a few things have changed. Not a whole lot. My hair's changed. Yeah, so I'm going to just sign off, and if this is the end of my vlog, I will hopefully on the holidays get more vlogging done. No promises, but I'll try. Cheers.